Hey everybody, Meteorologist Emery here in the Fox 19 First Alert Streaming Center, our Saturday edition of 19 at 6. I want to double check something real quick. Okay, we're good to go. Making sure that we're live wherever you stream, including on YouTube, including on Facebook. We're live on both the Fox 19 Facebook page as well as my Facebook page at Ethan Emery WX and Fox19.com and on the Fox 19 News and First Alert weather apps. Good evening, everybody. Sorry we're a couple of minutes late. We were just making sure everything was connected, and I was also talking with my producer, getting stuff ready, because I also have to report here on Saturdays and Sundays and getting my story set up for that. And then, of course, updating the 7-day forecast. So this is fresh, hot off the press, updated forecast for you. And since radar is pretty quiet, we'll talk about the storms that moved through earlier today. But since there are no active severe thunderstorm warnings, we have a flash flood warning right now. We'll get to that here in a moment. But the threat is lessening by the minute. In fact, it is going to expire here in about 30 minutes or so. But I have a promise. We'll get to it right now. So that is the forecast for tonight, tomorrow, and the 7-day forecast. And then once we conclude with the 7-day, then we'll go back and look at the damage reports that are over towards Mason County. So tonight we got a temperature falling down to 69 degrees. We've got a few lingering pop-up showers and storms, though. I think the severe threat at this point is over here in the tri-state. And then we head into tomorrow. Tomorrow we've got high temperatures up pretty warm, close to 90, but not there. 88 for an afternoon high. In fact, I will say tomorrow undoubtedly is going to be the warmest day of the 7-day forecast. So you'll see it here. You can see temperatures are going to cool down for your Labor Day, a high of only 79 for Monday, Labor Day, with some sunshine. Looking pretty good to conclude the holiday weekend. Tuesday, partly cloudy, a high of 80. We're back into the mid-80s for Wednesday going into Thursday. And notice Wednesday, there's a sunshine icon, but it says filtered sunshine. We're going to have high, thin clouds move into the tri-state, a lot of them. And so that's why I say filter. But regardless, still a warm day, 85. Friday, 81 with some pop-up showers and storms. Saturday, a lot of question marks with this one. In fact, I'm not very confident we'll see much of anything. But I did want to put the chance for isolated showers on Saturday, and it looks cooler too. 77 for an afternoon high. Now, we will go beyond the 7-day forecast coming up here in a couple of minutes. Or actually, I should say more than a couple of minutes. It will be after we conclude with what's happened today, what's happening going forward here this week ahead. And also cover all the different events we've got going on into the tri-state. So let's go ahead and take a look now at one of our cameras here. And this will be our rooftop camera. This is over towards Queensgate, which is a portion of downtown Cincinnati area. And it's looking towards downtown and also towards the banks. You'll see the Paycor Stadium there on the right and some sunshine filtering through some of those clouds. And right now temperatures are at 86 degrees, the forecast high we had for today. So it is the warmest it's going to get for the remainder of the day. But still humid when you step outside. But the humidity, I assure you, will go down tomorrow. Take a look at the storm reports, and our focus is in Mason County. Mason County is a place that had received that severe thunderstorm warning as well as an active flash flood warning that is there here ongoing. But again, as I mentioned, it's going to expire in about 30 minutes, give or take. It is set to expire around 6:45. So let's go ahead and zoom in here on the damage reports. And this is down over towards Washington, over towards Germantown, which is out that way in Mason County. So Murphysville is just north of Murphysville as well. So let's go ahead and pull those two up. Here we go. Maybe. There we go. Okay. So we got that one, and we got that one here. I'm going to pull these up, and then we'll take a look at the comments while I'm also describing what happened earlier today. So right around 4 o'clock, we did have a severe thunderstorm warning that did go into effect in Mason County, and there were reports of trees and power poles and power lines down over in those directions there. This is south of the AA highway and just to the south and west of Maysville, Kentucky. But this was an area that, still seeing some effects from those storms, bringing in with it a lot of heavy rainfall. In fact, there was the emergency manager over in Maysville and in Mason County did report more than 3.5 inches of rain there. So, significant amount of rainfall and, of course, damage reports like this. So, again, this was over in Mason County specifically, a place that is still dealing with a flash flood warning, which is, again, still in effect until 6:45. The severe activity at this point, it looks to stay off to the east and to the south of the Fox 19 Now viewing area. But we do have a couple of showers and storms over towards southern portions of Robertson County, far southern Mason County, a couple of rumbles of thunder out towards Lewis County. The radar is not looking really impressive out there right now. Brooksville, you can see you've got a little bit of a downpour showing up there. Over towards Bracken County, and then also southern Pendleton County, got a good downpour showing up there to the north of Berry, and then also a light shower showing up over towards the Napoleon area, which is in northwestern portions of Grant County into southern Gallatin County. But that is really the only activity we are seeing for the most part. I don't think there's a little shower, looks like over towards southern Rocky Fork Lake over in Highland County. And then there's also this shower. So if you're traveling on I-71 towards Carson, could be a good little downpour for you folks down that way, right along the Carroll-Gallatin County line, which I know that area is not the funnest to drive in. And I know funnest is not a real word, but that little dip through there on I-71, kind of a bumpy road too. But otherwise, though, right now on radar, things are relatively dry, so looking good. But some places who needed the rain did receive the rain. Granted, you see that much rain in a short period of time, 3.5 inches according to observations down in Mason County. That's too much at one time. But that being said, a lot of places did see these showers and storms, and they did provide some rain, which is good for those of you who may need the rain here in the tri-state. Take a look right now at radar and satellite. This is on a loop that kind of shows what happens the last 3 hours. But we're going to widen this out for you because the cold front we're looking at is up through here, associated with all this cloud cover here. And behind it, much drier, comfortable air. And so with this, it is going to bring in eventually some comfortable conditions. But in the meantime right now, it is still warm and humid. I'm just going to try to pull up the temperature map, but I don't think I'm able to at this point. But let's go take a look at the temperatures here at home. So today's high temperatures, we officially, I believe, made it up to 86, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, the computer is freezing up on me. Let's go ahead and try to find. Okay, this shows 87 at CVG. The Lunken Airport, it shows 90, though I think these are not the true temperatures that we may have reached. Let's double check that. This is the official almanac from CVG as it loads. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to chime in on Facebook. Okay, wow. We were actually warmer than I expected. So earlier today, we must have made it to 88 ahead of those showers and storms over at CVG. But a lot of places were generally in the mid-80s, though at Lunken Airport, it did show 90, and after seeing this, it's not far-fetched that we may have reached 90 degrees in a few spots. So though it wasn't officially now a heat wave, it's still pretty warm out there for you earlier today. And even right now, temperature's still warm into these mid-80s for most portions of the tri-state. 88, though, the warmest spot over at the Lunken Airport. And dew points, the measure of the moisture in the air, this is what's been so uncomfortable the last 24 hours or so. And those dew points, upper 60s and low 70s, that's that real sticky air that allows these showers and storms to dump as much rain as they have here in the tri-state. And when you factor in that moisture, it does add to what it feels like when you step outside. So heat index values or feels like temperatures are in the mid to upper 80s and the low 90s. From CVG, the Lunken Airport, Lebanon, over towards Batesville, low 90s for heat index values. And not much in the way of winds out there. of course, aside from the storms that moved through earlier. But right now, we're not looking at any kind of strong winds out there. Winds at any of the airports are give or take 5 to 15 miles per hour at best. So we'll take a look at the Reds forecast this evening. We are the official forecast provider for the Reds, as they are hoping to get a win against Milwaukee in this series. Not been a great series, but hopefully they were able to overcome that. So a few lingering storms could develop, but I think most of the activity is going to remain dry for the game. 7:15 first pitch at GABP, and it'll be around 82 degrees by the end of the game, the low 70s. And then also for FC Cincinnati, that game, or that match, of course, is tonight at 7:30 at TQL. So tailgating right now, we're in the mid-80s here, around 86 at CVG. But as you're heading to TQL here, still looking at the low to mid-80s. Kickoff at 7:30, 82. By halftime, 74, as they're hosting CF Montreal. Should be a good match. And looks like the field's going to be rather dry, just considering the fact that downtown has not seen the rain quite as much as a lot of other locations have here today. And then also, this is happening right now, but I made this for Catherine. We were just joking around off camera. But Kids Bob Live is tonight, though. That picture is not. I'm just going to show this at this point. That's inaccurate. That image I did not update. But Kids Bob Live is tonight at Riverbend, and should be okay for them. Could see a lingering pop-up shower, but otherwise, though, we are looking okay. Try to find a graphic real quick to cover up this one. Let's see. Hey, Oktoberfest going on over at Liberty Home. That's over in, believe, over towards Hamilton, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, it's in Hamilton. So, Liberty Home Oktoberfest, although the times, it's up until Sunday. So ignore these two here. 88 for tomorrow's high with a lot of sunshine in store. So let's go ahead and just dive right into it. Let's dive into tonight and tomorrow's forecast. And then we'll dive into the forecast models, look at a few things, and then go beyond the 7-day forecast here in a little bit. Tonight, we've got a low of 69 degrees. We got some a pop-up shower storm, can't rule out. Otherwise, though, I think we're going to be mainly dry with just mostly cloudy conditions. And then for the day tomorrow, we've got temperatures rising up to around 88 for an afternoon high. And again, looking at mostly sunny conditions. And, okay, hit the wrong button, not the Reds game. Let's take a look now at that forecast model. Let's look at this one here. As the computer wants to load. There we are. So take a look at that forecast model here in just a moment, but there could be a few lingering showers, maybe some thunderstorms. I don't suspect severe activity here this evening, but we could see a good downpour, maybe a gust of wind. Checking some comments now on the Fox 19 Facebook page or as well as on my Facebook page at Ethan Emery WX. No comments on my Facebook page. So at that point, we'll take a look at the Fox 19 Facebook page. Hey, we got a couple. Susan, Blanchester, a big 0 for rain. This is getting insane. Hope you're having a good evening. I did see a couple of cells close to Blanchester. You must have missed it by within a couple miles, because there was some showers popping up around that area, and I was thinking of you, Susan. So hopefully get some rain, maybe a pop-up this evening for you, but doesn't look as good now. Today was your big shot to see some rain today, as a lot of folks did. Susan also says, hope you're having a good evening. Thank you, Susan. You as well. Hopefully you're having a great evening. Kim says hello from West Union. Hey, good evening to you, West Union. Adams County had some good showers earlier today. A lot of it associated with that cluster that moved through Mason County earlier. Michael, thumbs up, and says hello from Middletown, Ohio. Middletown, a very beautiful spot. Anytime I go visit my friends up in Dayton, or maybe I'm heading up towards, I got some friends over towards, what is that? Marysville. I usually stop in Middletown for fuel, and then also too just I have some family that grew up around Hamilton, Butler County, between Hamilton and Middletown, and so growing up we went there a few times, and nice little community up there. Roxy asking, do we have anything in southeast Indiana? So I was going to show you the forecast model, but I want to go ahead and answer Roxy's question real quick before we advance. I think we're going to be okay. I think we're going to be mainly dry in southeast Indiana, but I cannot rule out a pop-up just with how humid this atmosphere is. But the activity is showing signs of weakening. So I think if you got outdoor plans, keep them, but just have an eye on the sky. If you see clouds building up, check radar, and then continue on with your festivities. Or if there is showing signs of rain, then you might want to give yourself a moment to let the storm pass. Though, if anything, I'm seeing a little cell. I don't know, Roxy, exactly where you are in southeast Indiana, but there's a little cell in southwestern portions of Fayette County, Indiana, so south of Glenwood, northwest of Laurel. And the general direction of these storms is, well, you'll see it here. It's generally to the northwest, the south, and east. So Laurel, Metamora, Peppertown, Franklin County. If this cell even holds itself together, it might bring in a brief shower. But again, brief. Not looking at anything long-term for you folks out that way. But that's the only cell I'm seeing right now in southeast Indiana. A couple of showers and storms over to the west of the Fox 19 now viewing area. And the general direction for that is south and west. So these are no issue. No issue at all. So not going to affect us here into the Fox 19 now viewing area. But areas to our south are looking at some pop-up showers and thunderstorms over towards Carroll County, or I should say Gallatin County at this point. This cell now has moved up from the Carroll-Gallatin County line. It is weakening. Also, the cell that was over towards portions of Gallatin and Grant County, that is also weakening. A couple of cells that have actually shown a little bit of signs of strengthening is in southern portions of Mason County and southern Robertson County, right along the edge of the Fox 19 now viewing area, but a good downpour there, some thunder and some lightning. Brooksville, Kentucky, a good little downpour for those folks there. Southern portions of Pendleton County, seeing some showers. And then also towards Highland County, a place that's under an extreme drought, are seeing a few showers over towards what looks like the Marshall Township area. Yep. And then also where I grew up in Berrysville, Newmarket, also some showers there. But otherwise, I think the Tri-State's looking relatively dry here this evening. So you've got outdoor plans for Labor Day festivities, activities. Unless you live, I would say the exception is going to be if you live in Robertson, Mason, Lewis counties, these counties here. I think the opportunity for thunderstorm development is very low. If anything, you have a stray shower like what you're seeing in Highland County or what you're seeing up into northwestern Franklin or southwestern Fayette counties, or even into Grant County. Just these little cells, not doing very much for very long, but enough to maybe dampen the road or dampen your vehicle, but nothing more than that. Most places, though, this evening do appear to be dry, and the forecast model will show that evidence here in a moment, but I want to make sure I catch up on the comments before we move on. Patricia said, missed rain, thank you for your forecast. You're welcome, Patricia. Wish you got some rain, although maybe you didn't need the rain, but a lot of places do need the rain, so I'm just going to assume that you needed the rain, but you didn't get it. And I hopefully the forecast for late next week can provide you some relief, but next few days really look dry. Debbie, I took a walk today, had a light shower in Cheviot. So, yeah, again, some places the Tri-State did see a good shower, some downpours, some thunderstorms. Sean says we missed the rain. Once again, in Edgewood, the grass is very crispy. Yeah, so there are spots in the Tri-State that really need the rain and others who, well, don't. And a comment to go right on into is Darren saying, you need nothing here in Rising Sun, Indiana. Yeah, so some places don't need the rain, and a lot of places do. Oh. Well, Devin's comment disappeared. Not sure why, unless he deleted it. Okay, look at my Facebook page real quick. Make sure I answer those comments before we move along to the forecast model. Don't see any comments there, so we will move right along. All right. Oh, Darren. Okay, Darren corrected the comment. I meant we haven't gotten any rain in Rising Sun. So I do know a couple of days ago, Rising Sun did see a lot of rain, but you know, all at once, it's not great for the soil, especially when it's so dry. It can take it up real quick, or it can't take it up fast enough. It usually runs off and doesn't really help with the vegetation. Linda said, I thought we were going to have a stormy day, so canceled an end of summer pool party. Don't cancel it, or I should say, hopefully you postponed it for tomorrow. Tomorrow looks good for pool conditions. We did have a lot of widespread storms today. A lot of them were especially south of the tri-state earlier today, and we did have some activity north of Cincinnati earlier this morning into the midday hour, but a lot of this activity actually organized much further east, areas that really needed that rain. And we did have a couple of strong to severe storms over towards Mason, Lewis, Adams, Brown, and Robertson counties, which are still seeing a few showers and storms out there right now. Shelley said no rain here yet in Warsaw, Gallatin County. There was a cell over towards Gallatin County, but it is beginning to fizzle out. So I think you're going to be dry for the majority of the evening here, Shelley. So here's the forecast model. Let's go ahead and just move right along here because this is going to show you what I'm referring to. The fact that tonight it looks pretty dry. Can't rule out a pop-up, but I think most of us are going to remain okay for tonight in terms of anybody trying to have any late-night activities. We go into Sunday, a lot of cloud cover to start the day, especially along and south of the Ohio River, especially areas that see a lot of rain. And do want to add that this evening behind these storms could be a little bit of drizzle, but nothing more than that. And I did have the forecast yesterday showing fog. No longer the case. I don't see fog development tonight or tomorrow morning, at least on the order of anything that's impactful. There could be some fog development, but nothing of concern or anything widespread. So again, cloud cover for Sunday early morning, but then Sunday afternoon, we're looking at some sunshine and temperatures warming up pretty quickly into the mid 80s, even the upper 80s. And this forecast model is trying to show a blip of anything tomorrow. I don't see it. I think at best tomorrow is just a few clouds developing with the daytime heating and the full passage of the cold front, which will bring in some of that drier, comfortable air. Now tomorrow's going to be more comfortable, especially during the afternoon, but tomorrow morning will be a little humid. And I'll show you that muggy meter here, where it's going to show today, of course, being very muggy with the air you can wear category with those dew points in those upper 60s and low 70s. But tomorrow, notice that, yeah, we're on this dive down towards comfortable air. And we're going to be staying comfortable through Wednesday. Going into Wednesday and Thursday, dew points begin to go up, and that's why I was saying earlier that there could be some relief for folks who really need the rain, but didn't get it this round. And I'll show you that here on this forecast model. So we go into Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we look dry. Now we have a lot of cloud cover moving in Tuesday evening and Wednesday, but it's mainly on the order of mid to high level clouds, and those high level clouds are not going to do anything for us. Just going to limit the temperatures from getting too hot. Still be warm though on Wednesday. We go into Thursday. Now here's where there are a lot of questions. I'm not suspecting anything strong or severe. I'm not suspecting anything like that. The questions are, will it rain? And to that, there's a lot of unknowns with that. So right now, I think Thursday now looks drier than what I was showing yesterday. And you'll see here, we go into Thursday afternoon, into Thursday evening. We have this system here. We have what we call here a dry slot. It looks more than likely going to set up here over Thursday afternoon to Thursday evening. This is Friday. We go into Friday afternoon. we have this little weak wave of energy that could provide some shower and even some thunderstorm chances. But again, the thunderstorm opportunities look very limited. In fact, most of this could just be showers with just some rumbles of thunder. Again, this is for Friday. And then we go into next weekend. Saturday could also see pop-up showers or storms. But this system here is going to bring in kind of a reinforcing shot of mild conditions. And that is reflected on part of the 7-day forecast. And you'll see that here in just a moment. If it wants to load. Computer's running a little slow today. It's the weekend and a lot of data coming through over the last few days, and the computer hasn't had a time to readjust. So here's that 7-day forecast. Labor Day looks beautiful. The fireworks Sunday night, and that reminds me, I haven't shown the hour by hour for that. I'll do that in a second. So for Sunday, looking good. We got the cloud cover in the morning, some sunshine in the afternoon, warm high of 88 degrees. So tomorrow, if you're going to be outside, keep in mind you want to have the sunscreen on. Make sure you're staying hydrated. Even though it's not the 90s, even though it's not the sweltering, sticky air, still warm. And, you know, it might feel refreshing considering how warm it's been the last several days. Still going to be something that you need to take into consideration, especially with the kids outside and, you know, getting prepped and ready to go for the fireworks. Labor Day Monday, that's where the change is going to really be full effect. 79 for a high after a crisp morning low of 60. Tuesday, 55 for a morning low and an afternoon high of 80. Wednesdays when we have those upper level clouds moving in, we're going to call it filtered sunshine and a high of 85. Thursday, a slight chance of showers and 84. Friday, a few isolated showers and storms and a high of 81. We go back in the 70s next weekend with that chance for a few isolated showers. So if you missed the rain the last few days, there are opportunities late next week into next weekend, but there are question marks as to how widespread those will be. For now, I'm just going to say it's on the order of isolated, so pop-up. So very limited coverage Thursday, Friday, into next Saturday with the 7-day forecast. Got a couple of comments. We'll read those, and then we'll go beyond the 7-day forecast in a second. Holly says, hey, Ethan, how's Uncle Frank? Love y'all. Thank you. We appreciate the love and reciprocate that. So how's Frank? I'm sure he's doing pretty well. I believe he has Monday off, so he's going to be enjoying some time. I think, I don't have my work phone up with me up here, but he, I believe, is filling in tomorrow morning for Ashley because Ashley is on vacation. She's spending some time with her boyfriend down in North Carolina, but I believe it's him filling in tomorrow morning. It's either him or Steve. I'm trying to remember which. Schedule's all over the place. But Frank's doing well. When I talked to him last, my schedule's been moved around a lot, so I don't see Frank nearly as much as I used to. But the last day I saw him was Wednesday, believe it or not. So I haven't seen him since Wednesday. And when I spoke to him on Wednesday, he seemed to be doing pretty well. So hopefully I get to chat with him again soon. Sean says we need rain. We certainly do. And the places that did see the rain got a lot of it all at once, which wasn't great, but hopefully it helped some of the soil and some of the vegetation. Molly says, hello, Ethan. We had some rain this afternoon. A transformer blew out in our neighborhood yesterday. Yeah, the storms yesterday, I mean, it was wild seeing how many storms were building up and collapsing, creating what we call those microbursts. There was one reported over towards Ripley. There was one, I believe, over towards Cleves. And then I think one over towards, I'm trying to think where the other one was. But it does, I mean, there was a lot of reports of damage the last few days with these thunderstorms, no doubt. Okay, Susan says, do you see cooler weather in the 14-day forecast? Glad you asked, because here it is. Not cooler, but mild. We'll call it mild. So at this point in this season, I would say cooler is upper 60s and low 70s myself. And I like that kind of weather. That's one of my favorite types of weather. But we do have temperatures staying mild. So we're not looking at 90s in the next 14 days. So looking pretty good. So 76 for next Sunday. This is the 14-day. So if you can see it here, this is the date. So September 8th. And what I'll do to make it easier for you is to put this up full screen. So that's the 14-day. 79 for a high on Monday. 80 for Tuesday. And we hover around the low 80s going through the end of the following week into the following weekend. So this is 2 Saturdays from now, September 14th. 82, and there could be a pop-up shower, though that far out. There is going to be a lot of change between now and then with regards to the rain chances, but the temperatures the last few days have been pretty consistent in this regard. So not looking at any kind of major temperature swings, but it does look to be on the order of near average. So you'll see here on our 7-day plus. So here it is kind of on a line graph. That way you can kind of interpret it the best way. The line here, this darker shade yellow with a black shadow, this is the average line, and this is the actual. So where the dots are with the yellow line, that's the actual temperature. That's in the forecast. And the one that's more straight is more of the normal line. So we're hovering on that normal line going into that second full week of September. We were well above it all, obviously. But we are taking a slight dip for Labor Day and Tuesday. We're going back a little bit above Wednesday and Thursday, back down for next weekend, and then we finally kind of stall out over the normal line going into the second week, the end of the second week of September. And then for low temperatures, it's just kind of this wavy pattern. So nothing too significant. It does look like tonight into tomorrow morning is going to be the muggiest or the warmest morning we're going to have here over the next 14 days. So not too shabby. Molly's saying Pleasant Plain. Yeah, that was one of the spots. Thank you. That was one of the spots that also saw some damage from those thunderstorms of the microburst. Susan, mid-60s daytime is awesome. I fully agree. Wish we had it, but it's awesome. My ideal weather, this might be something that most of you probably won't agree with, but my favorite kind of weather, it's got to be fall. Has to be fall, can't be spring. Give me a fall where we have overcast conditions. Give me a very light rain in the morning, even going into the midday hour, and then a dry afternoon with a nice little breeze, the leaves coming down. Say it's mid-October, and the evening hours, it dries out. The sun comes out in the evening. It gets clear. It gets cool. Highs will generally be in the mid-50s. That's my kind of weather. Though, again, that might be a weird, favorite kind of weather to like. But hey, as a meteorologist, though, you got to say that there's no such thing as bad weather, just different types of weather. And living in the Ohio Valley, you gotta love the range of which we have weather. We have those hot days, we have those cold days, wet, of course, very dry, everything in between. We get it. I do want to show the drought monitor because, of course, we've been discussing the fact that it's been so dry. And this is only updated once a week, so if you watched on Thursday or Friday, you've already seen this map, but I do want to show it because it goes without saying that we are dealing with, these conditions impacting folks who, they depend on good weather for their agriculture, for gardening, and you can see extreme drought conditions in Highland County, severe drought conditions from portions of Clinton County, also Highland County, portions of Brown and Adams County, also moderate drought conditions for much of northern Kentucky. And this is data reflected from Tuesday. They collect the data on Tuesdays, they publish it on Thursdays. So I think with the rain we've seen in parts of the tri-state, some areas might see some alleviation, while a lot of places might see this actually expand further west. So was the rain good? Yes, but was it enough to overcome this drought? Not so much the case. So certainly rain we need, but it wasn't enough for a lot of spots. So look at the 7-day forecast one more time, and then we'll go ahead and close things off because I got to get ready for the 10 o'clock newscast. I got to do my story, edit that, and then get some more graphics built. I'll give you a sneak peek for tomorrow. So tomorrow, 19atSIX, you don't want to miss it. I am actually building a map right now. Speaking of my favorite type of weather, the fall foliage map, and it is courtesy of the Smoky Mountains website. So not to ruin the magic, but if you want to see the map right now, you can go to their website. But I will be, transforming that into our weather system, and then having that out to showcase for tomorrow. So look forward for that on Sunday's edition of 19atSIX. Here's that 7-day forecast one more time. Sunday, a hot day, 88 degrees, not quite as hot as it has been, but certainly a warm day. And here is the, let's go to the Riverfest first, and then we'll do the fireworks. So here is the Riverfest forecast. So noon, 79. By 5 o'clock, we're in those mid to upper 80s. And then by 10 o'clock, 75 degrees. And then here it is for the fireworks. So at 9 o'clock, 78 degrees, and by 10 o'clock, around 75. And there will be some of that haze here into the tri-state just because of all the fireworks, of course, going off. So that's Sunday. You're going to Monday for Labor Day, and we're looking at highs around 79 degrees with that sunshine. Tuesday, partly cloudy, morning lows in the mid-50s, afternoon highs in the low 80s. Wednesday, high thin clouds return with a high of 85, and a slight chance of showers on Thursday. Also Saturday, but Friday, the best opportunity for a few showers, maybe a rumble of thunder, but I'm not looking at anything widespread at this time with that. So that's 19atSIX, our Saturday edition. My days are all mixed up. But, yeah, we've got next few days looking dry, looking good for the rest of your holiday weekend. A few pop-up showers can't be ruled out for this evening into the early overnight hour, but drier air is forthcoming, especially for Sunday, and then really true for Monday with more comfortable air here into the tri-state. So, one last time on the Fox 19 Facebook page. I think we've got all the comments answered there. Okay, so with that being said, thank you all so much for joining us here on this Saturday edition of 19atSIX. Don't forget, we got our newscast tonight after the Reds game, which is airing right here on Fox 19. And we will have coverage of that, have coverage of some of the college football games that's been going on today. And, of course, your updated First Alert forecast. But don't miss tomorrow's 19atSIX. We got that fall foliage map we're going to be updating. And then, of course, giving you some other updates as well with regards to the First Alert forecast and looking at the forecast outlooks going into the full month of September, even maybe looking into October as well. We'll have more on that, though, of course, next 19atSIX edition for Sunday. Of course, though, have yourself a great Saturday evening, and thank you all so much for joining us.